Okay, part 3 of What If Izuku Midoriya was Spider-Man. I'm redoing this. Izuku Midoriya was just bitten by a genetically radioactive spider. Izuku proceeded to scratch that out. Radioactive? Probably, he wrote. But genetically enhanced? Probably. But to which of the spider's origins, to exactly, he does not know. He simply circled both and put question marks around them. He sighed. This was more difficult than he thought it was. He's barely knowing his powers, these abilities of his, and he's just supposed to figure it out. The boy laid back and sighed. It's been a whole month. A month since his father's death. The words of great power comes great responsibility. Those words. He has a whole school year of middle school. One more year until UA. Then after that, figure something out. But figure out what? Izuku didn't have one clue what to figure out. Spider-Man. By the next year, he'll be a final year. He'll be a senior in middle school. But for right now, and then after that, plan his high school and then college. What was he gonna do? Hero school begins during college, or was it high school? He really couldn't tell. He forgot. And surprisingly, that's for once a big surprise to Izuku Midoriya. How could he forget something so opulated? Something so important to his career, to his future that he wants. Secret. Understand how powers work. Abilities or quirks, he wrote. Okay, I have a quirk, he proceeded to think. He wanted to tell his sister and his mother so much, tell Kachan, show them that he could actually be a hero, but then he remembered and how he explained to them that he got it from a spider bite from Dr. Collins' lab. That would be one thing of interest. And then they'll try to check if he was alright, fine, or something else. Maybe he should wait on that one. He decided to keep it a secret. Secret was probably the best thing he could do. Okay. He bit his lip, wondering, trying to figure out. Alright, if I remember correctly, I was definitely stronger. I was able to remove the door off my hinges. Just the day after I woke up from that bite. Different physique, so a changed physique. That means the spider's bite altered my body to a genetic point or altered to a fundamental state. Physical strength, current limit unknown, he wrote. But a spider can live 50 times its own body weight. So if I multiply that by a human and a teenager my age, he proceeded to think, doing the math, I could probably bench press about 16,000 tons or 15,000 tons. That's enough to lift a whole fire truck. He proceeded to pause. Yeah, a whole fire truck. If that's actually the limit. He proceeded to ponder, thinking, okay, speed. I was definitely fast when I ran away. So fast I reacted to that car. And I was able to not just see it, but dodge it. Everything seemed so slow, like reaction time. I can process things so much faster than everybody else. Or it seems slow to me, but for everyone else, it's all happening in one few quick second. Or seconds? Yeah, seconds. So that means my nervous system has been extremely altered. He proceeded to ponder, questioning. He was biting his pencil now. Speed, strength, reflexes, definitely. Enhanced. He pondered, wondering, was his stamina enhanced also? He did run for a long time when he ran away after getting back at Flash. Not once, but twice. Yeah, that would do. Enhanced strength and stamina. Highly, probably. He proceeded to put a highly to the condition. Durability. Unknown. Or there. It would make more sense if my durability was much stronger. Because if I can handle... Because if I'm giving off all this force and speed, and that means I should be able to react to that. It means I can take a punch. Or a hit, at least. You proceed to ponder, questioning. Durability, probably. Second, what else could he think? That tingle thing. What should he call it? Danger sense? No, he shouldn't call it that. That feels like it's already been taken by someone at least. The sense worked, and then he remembered spider. The spider bit him. He wrote spider sense. Yeah, that works. It rolls off the tongue, like naturally. Spider sense. Yeah. I wonder what else I can react to. Is it just danger in general or more? He proceeded to wonder. It reacted when he was in danger. So... Anything else? Any other abilities? Wall crawling. He was able to stick to any surface. Maybe spider hairs? Or maybe the theory of spiders using their bioelectricity to stick to stuff and surfaces. He looked at his hands, looking for any hairs. He couldn't tell. He could see well. His vision had definitely improved, but it's not like he can fully control the stick on and stick off on command. He tried so. Stick on. No luck. He sighed, thinking he's glad he's in his room right now. He proceeded to remember his mother has taken his father's death pretty hard. Not long, his sister also. She's been quite protective over him. And then there was Kachan. Kachan was Kachan. But he's been more somber, quiet, not as boisterous as before. Him and Izumi got closer. They always been closer. Or close. He simply sighed. He closed his notebook. He wrote simply spider on it. On the front page. And left it there. Then stopped. Wait, I forgot one thing. He opened it again back to the page. Webs, he wrote. Question mark around it with a big circle in red. Webs. Now I think about it. Spiders can make webs in their body, so that means, can I? He looked at his rear. He was really hoping it didn't come out there. That would be uncomfortable. He looked for any type of hole anywhere in his body and realized, yeah, there's probably nothing coming out of him anytime soon. Hopefully. He unclenched and clenched his fist, looking at his wrist. Nope, no webs. He sighed. Okay, if I have spider powers, or spider-like abilities, why don't I get the bonus of webs? Or having my own body make it within me. It's kind of annoying. Izuku sighed. He had a feeling that this was going to be a difficult part. The webs part. You have to be kidding me. He got up and proceeded to rub his face. Great. Perfect. Okay. He pondered, wondered. All right. I have two ideas. I can either take the idea of being a vigilante. Then he thought of that, crossed it out. No, I can't do that. But then I don't want to really just wait. He wanted to tell his mother about his powers and his sister. He wanted them to know. Something about it that seems off. He wasn't supposed to gain a quirk, or if you can call this a quirk at all. They seem more like abilities, just power. Because there's too many. Each one of these abilities could be a quirk on its own. And yet, they seem more like abilities. He'll just call them power. His powers. He sighed, rubbing his face. Okay. Fine. Powers. But I have to get control of them. I have a year until UA. A year of school, and then after that, 10 months of training. So, almost 2 years, technically. He paused. Almost 2 years. That's all I get. He proceeded to lay back on his chair, rubbing his face. Is that enough time to really close the gap of kids my own age who had their powers for, technically most of their life? They had their powers since they were 4. That leaves me about, 6, 7, 8 years behind? 8 years behind of quirk control, of quirk powers and abilities, understanding their powers. By then, the time that they get to UA, I'll barely even get control over basic control and understanding of my own powers. You remember how a lot of people with different type of quirks like strength or speed had to literally control how they move and how they handle things. And right now, he's still kind of struggling that part. He sighed. Oh, this is just going to be perfect. By that time, I'll be too far gone. Too far behind. How am I supposed to close that gap? Izumi's telekinesis was strong. Concentric explosions were strong. They were precise and controlled. Controlled by time, and effort, and energy, and almost about a decade of small, minor training and everyday control. He sighed. He was smart. He knew that. If anything that came down to powers and quirks, he can probably figure that out on his own. Yes. But almost a decade of worth of time of training like that? How is he supposed to close that gap? He rubbed his face. It's just perfect. Just perfect. Given powers by a spider that was genetically enhanced or radioactive, who knows? He proceeded to think about it. And yet, I can't figure it out. Dumb Deku, obviously. How am I supposed to be a hero if I can't figure this out? Given powers, and I'm still stuck at square one. It's hopeless. But then yet again, I can't give up. Dad's killer's out there, and I need to find him. He can't get away. And I can't just let it go. He proceeded to rub his neck, wondering. What a pain. He proceeded to get up, walking. He had a few ideas. Fighting crime was something that he wasn't planning to do yet. He wanted to do the actual way. Go to a hero school. Get training from actual heroes, pro heroes. But his thing knew that he didn't have that luxury or that time. The more he waited, the longer his father's killer would stay free. And if he wanted to be a hero on his hero, he needed to learn to control. 2 things that he needs to get done. Understand his abilities and figure out how to find the man that killed his father. And he can't do either if the man out there runs free and rampant. No, he cannot. He scowled. He only had 2 ideas left. Take the vigilante idea, take the vigilante path, or wait. He couldn't wait. Well, only one thing left to do, he thought. Then he started to come up with a vigilante costume, pulling out another notebook and getting ideas. Okay, what's to call? Vigilante names. The Black Spider. He came up first. Too dark. He scratched it out. Way too dark. The Human Spider. Catchy, but that may be a bit too literal. Man Spider? That sounded way too freaky. He simply wrote Spider-Man. That was too generic. He sighed, rubbing his face. You have to be kidding me. I can't come up with better names. Spider-Noir. He wrote Spider-Punk. Scarlet Spider. All these names sounded so good, but yet they didn't fit him very well. He went back to Spider-Man. Simple and effective. I can't believe I'm choosing this one. He simply circled Spider-Man. It fits. If he wants to change it later, he'll change it later. Alright? Costume. What the heck am I gonna make my costume? He thought of maybe doing something like him. Green, black, maybe some red into there. The idea was tempting with All Might hoodie. With his hair, 2 hair bangs pointing up. And then he realized that really didn't have any affiliation with what he is. He sighed. You can't add All Might to it because it doesn't make sense. Nope. Forget the All Might thing. Go something different. Okay, spider theme. Stick to that. He thought about making a suit. A green and black one. It seemed a good idea. Maybe that could work. But then he paused. If he's going to be seen running around, jumping from rooftop to rooftop, with a green and black suit, with red boots, he realized that it's way too familiar. Too familiar, actually. Green and black in this city. No offense, but he's not the only green kid here. But for those who might know him, those colors will start to scream out Izuku Midoriya. For those who know the Quirkless Wonder. Why would I feel like I'll be exposed not a few weeks after if Izumi or Mom or Kachan found out? Or Auntie Mitsuki or Uncle Masaru? Scratch green and scratch black. He couldn't use those colors. He sighed. He wanted to use his favorite color, green. He really did. It would feel more him to use that color. But then, that would be way too obvious. Then he looked at All Might, the poster of All Might. He was blue, red, and white. Maybe he can use some of that. Blue, red, and white. Maybe that could work. All Might's colors were off the colors of the US, where he did most his early hero work and where he technically takes most of his special moves from. All of his moves are named after the states of the US, after all. Yeah, that can work. Blue, red, and white. It does not work. It works, but he simply proceeded the process, questioning blue, red, and white. Yeah, that sounds right. Sounds good enough by me. Or maybe red and blue. Red and blue sound really good, actually. He started to put them together. A sort of costume of red and blue. In his mind, it started to come together slowly. White spider, yellow goggles, a hood that covers his hair, maybe a face mask, too, or mask, with some gloves, some boots. Yeah, that'll work. A full-on costume, a vigilante costume at that one. He smiled. Yeah, that works. That works much better. It was tacky, but he could make it work. Then he realized, wait, how am I supposed to get this stuff? He can probably find some sort of hoodie or something like that matches. Just it. But he'll have to figure it out eventually. So the days passed. Izuku figured something out. And then it came, the first patrol. Around late sundown. After eating dinner and the sun was setting and it became early night, he snuck out through the window. He's been practicing his abilities, and they worked wonders. He proceeded to stick to the shadows. A kid of his age is not, well, he can walk normally, but the thing is, he didn't want people who know him to recognize him. So he stuck to the alleys. Having his costume on, he proceeded to put the hood on, then the goggles with the face mask. Looking around, I'm sure he was alone in the alley, he proceeded to try to crawl. Okay. Think about it like fetching for a door handle. Stick on, stick off. He proceeded to crawl upon the wall, crawling as he proceeded to repeat the mantra in his head. Stick on, off, repeatedly. Not long later, he made his way up the wall, up the building side, into the roof. Finally. He pulled himself up and proceeded to look over. Nice. He proceeded to run upon the rooftop, jumping from building to building, to the smaller buildings, the ones that were not too high. They were 2-story and not. 2-story, maybe 3-story and higher and lower. If he needed to crawl again, he simply crawled. Mustafa was decently wide, not too vast, but not too big. Japan was his playground, kind of. He thought about just maybe taking a train down to the deeper parts of the cities, of the other cities within Japan. That would be nice. He hopped upon a rooftop, thinking, all right, but first, that'll be later. Second, time to look for that man who took my father. He looked around, his yellow goggles looking. Man, this sucks. He proceeded to hop over, looking for the man who stole his father, the man who took him. He saw the people down there. They were peaceful, happy, good. The one thing he still needed to remember, he needed to keep out of sight of heroes. He continued hopping from one roof to another. Okay. As he bounded over one alleyway, he heard something and turned around and turned back, looking over, seeing 5 criminals at one door, trying to break into the jewelry store. Of course they would. Am I supposed to make my way down silently? Right, crawling. Of course I could. He stared at them and watched them as they were simply trying to break in. One quick proceeded to hiss. Come on, man, hurry up before the heroes arrive. Yeah, I'm trying to. If you can shut up and stay quiet, maybe I can actually open this goddamn door. Come on, hurry up. The boss is waiting. The first guy proceeded to scowl. Maybe if you stop rushing me, I can open this door. They continued to wait as Izuku crawled. He could make a chance here. Only if he had some sort of projectile. Oh, man. The webs could be so useful here. He proceeded to watch them. He turned, seeing to the other alley wall adjacent. He leaped from it silently, or trying to be as silent as possible, sticking to the wall. He didn't make too much of a loud sound. What was that? I don't know. Just hurry up before heroes arrive. Fine. Izuku decided to make his presence known. Right, confidence and key. Kirk proceeded to freeze and turn towards the sound, seeing a masked figure on the wall. Hey, so you guys also here for the nightly view, or just here for a walk? Who the hell are you? You sound like a kid. Oh, excuse me. First of all, I am not a kid. I'm, the amazing Spider-Man. He proceeded to simply blurt out. He didn't really have anything else to say. Damn it, Zuko. He proceeded to curse at himself. He could not have come up with any other names. Scarlet Spider? Spider Noir? At least those names sounded cool. But Spider-Man? The Amazing Spider-Man? He proceeded to jump off the wall, landing upon his feet. His legs absorbed the impact pretty well. He didn't feel a thing. Hey, get out of here, kid. We had no time playing with you. Wow. First of all, I'm not a kid. I am Spider-Man. And you guys are currently trying to rob a jewelry store? Really? Come on, that's a classic criminal move that you can do. Don't you got something better to do? Don't you got your books in school to do? Oh, get out of here before I actually get mad. The second crook said. Ooh, ouch. Did I hit a nerve? This kid's annoying me. Just finish the door, as the fourth crook said. I'll take care of this. Wow, you are much bigger up close. You been hitting the gym? He cracked his knuckles. Yeah, I have. And I'm about to pummel you to the ground. Wow, those are quite aggressive words. Maybe you want to hold on that one? No. He proceeded to throw a punch. Izuku watched the punch coming at him. The sixth sense proceeded to ring in his mind. His body automatically moved on its own, dodging to the left. What the? Huh. You really are that slow, aren't you? For a big guy, you're not so fast. Why, you little. He proceeded to punch it up again. Sidestep. Sidestep again. Lean back. The guy proceeded to throw another punch. Izuku proceeded to jump back, shooting back for a flip, and landing up in the crouch position. Hey, I'm kind of getting used to this. Come on, buddy. Try to hit me again. Why, you little. He rushed forward, running at him. All right, fine. Take this. Izuku proceeded to duck over the punch. Clenching his right fist, he proceeded to throw the punch. How about you have a knuckle sandwich? He threw his punch forward, straight into the guy's chest. The man, his eyes bulged. The force of the punch was hard. He gasped, being thrown back. As he was thrown several feet into the air, crashing into a trash can, as the contents of the bin proceeded to dump open on him. He was out like a light. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. Wow. Reminder. Start holding back a little bit more. What the? How did he? Doesn't matter. One guy proceeded to have knives for hands, rushed forward. I'll cut you in half for that. Whoa! Suzuki proceeded to bound away, jumping as the guy tried to cut him. Nice quirk. Knife hands. You know, if anything, you could have broken through the door, right? Instead of the other guy. Suzuki caught his wrist easily. How the hell? My turn. He spun him around and tossed him right to his friends. They proceeded to groan. What the hell has this kid been eating? What the hell are they feeding him at the schools? Me? There's a lot of soba and other foods. But don't worry about it. All right, you little brat. The man's hands proceed the glow. How about you take on for this for size? He punched the ground. Vibrations proceeded shook the ground. Earth proceeding the jut split open. Izuku leaped up, clinging to the wall, as the earth proceeded to spike up for a moment. What's that? Nice quirk. But what was that glow off his hand? Is he manipulating the matter around? Get here. He proceeded to put his hand upon the wall. The wall started to deshape and morph. He looked up the wall too, bounding forward towards the guy. The man proceeded to growl, stomping his foot as a pillar of earth proceeded to launch forward. Izuku proceeded to land upon the pillar, using it as a springboard, and coming in with a flying kick right to his face. The man was sent flying. Izuku grabbed the other guy and proceeded to spin him around, throwing him into the wall. The man gasped for pain and slumped. The last guy proceeded to look around. Okay, hang on. How about we talk about this? What was your name? Spider-Man, right? Yeah, Spider-Man. You ever try to rob this place again? I'll come for you. Right. I'll leave. He turned around and ran. Izuku watched the guys run. I probably should have actually caught him. Man, I forgot about that. I need capture ways to capture these guys and keep them there. Should probably get out of here before the police get here. He proceeded to leap up to the walls, clinging onto it. He was getting used to these powers, these abilities. He crawled up the wall and left, using the rooftop to escape. He bounded forward, hopping from one roof to another. Hopping from roof to roof is fun, but I can't do this. It'll take me too long to get home. I need to figure out ways of transportation. He bounded forward, hopping. But first, maybe I can do a little bit more crime. Fighting. Throughout the night, until 1 a.m., he proceeded to fight criminals, several of them actually, from convenience stores they try to rob, to even some small gang meetups. That night, a lot of the criminals had their first encounter with Spider-Man. The moment he arrived back at home, it was around 2:30. The teenager proceeded to cling to the wall, crawling, and proceeded to slightly open the window of his room that was slightly left open, just enough to slip in. Come on, don't make a sound. As he used that chance, and then he put his foot upon the glass and silently closed it, crawling upon the ceiling, taking off the mask on his face, and then removing the hood, unzipping the jacket, and then he silently crawled. That was perfect. He laid upon his bed, unsticking himself from the ceiling slowly. I really do need to learn how to make a way of transportation or a fast way to travel. He proceeded to yawn. Spiders can definitely use webs, so I probably should figure that out. He tapped his foot. He remembered that at least he had something to do. Then he remembered. Crud. He's only caught those criminals because they were actively doing crime. But he could have done more. And a lot of the crimes he probably missed because he probably couldn't reach that vast area in under a short time. Hopping from roof to roof takes a little bit more skill and precision, along with control. The way when he punched that first guy, that felt so easy, and he was trying to still hold back. He felt like he punched right through him. The boy shivered at the thought. I'm not too careful, I might actually kill somebody on accident. I probably learned to hold back. He sighed. Don't want to end up killing somebody. The very next day, Izuku woke up early. He was tired. It was school again. got dressed, made his way to school. Koski and Izumi were waiting. The moment he got down, he proceeded to notice them both. Hey, what's up with you? Did you even get any sleep? The blonde-haired boy proceeded to say, me? The boy rubbed his face. Yeah, I got sleep. Definitely. I'll lose it by maybe lunch. Izumi looked at me worried. You sure he wasn't up all night with hero research? No, I didn't really have any time. I kind of just fell asleep on my desk doing homework. She looked at him worried. Right, are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine. Can we go? The two looked at each other and nodded. As they moved forward and walked, Izuku was scrolling through his phone. He saw all the crimes that he stopped yesterday. Izumi was noticing. What's that? Oh, they were just looking at this. The police just were having a little field day yesterday. These criminals were caught by this Spider-Man. She raised her eyebrow and proceeded to say, Spider-Man? Coffee proceeded to scoff. Spider-Man? Really? Not a really creative name. Izuku proceeded to scoff slightly, but headed it very well. Yeah. The name could do some work. What they said, he was really acrobatic, really talkative, and wouldn't shut up. They called him a bug. Izuku had an irritated look on his face slightly. They called me a bug? He proceeded to think within his own head. Are you serious? A bug? Rude. As they proceeded to walk, they proceeded to head towards Ride Aldera, and then head towards inside, towards their classes. Izuku's first class was science, lucky enough. Or chemistry. As he sat down in his seat, the day proceeded to begin. The boy sighed, rubbing his eyes. If he could only figure out a way. And then he paused. He blinked once and twice, and then he thought about it. Now I think about it, I could maybe do something about that whole web thing. He thought about it really and truly thought about it. There was many heroes that had ways of transportation. Some had cars, others had their quirks, some used ropes and stuff like that. Ropes and grappling hooks. Maybe he can do something like that. If you remember some scientists trying to perfect synthetic spider silk or synthetic webbing, but they couldn't really get it down. Izuku thought about it. The formula was not complete, but it was online, so he smiled. Maybe I can figure it out. But how is he gonna figure out how to make a gadget like that? To fire webbing. You see it right in his notebook, thinking. If I'm supposed to fire webbing, that means so I can make a gadget like some sort of web shooter. The boy smiled. Web shooter. Yeah, that can actually work. Why didn't I think of this before? Web shooter. That's actually a good name. You proceeded to write in his notebook, web shooters. And now he had a problem. How is he supposed to invent something like that? He scowled, thinking about it. Oh, I'm so cooked. For the next few days, he continued this vigilante work, hopping about, stopping criminals, and slowly but surely doing something, or getting a name. Not long after, Izuku was able to put parts together from old TV parts into a sort of police radio, where he can listen in and get into police station radios. He had to literally connect to a police radio or police antenna, technically, but it worked. And really, inventing didn't come too hard to him. He tapping his chin, trying to figure it out. How would I figure out a way to shoot webs? The gun? No, looks too violent. It has to be something that obviously can be used, so that it won't be taken out of my hand so easily. Something that will be seamless. Something that would... A wrist-mounted device. Bingo. He proceeded to draw a wrist-mounted device. And then he got a problem. Well, what was it supposed to look like? Crud. He came up with several designs. One chunky one that had seemingly many parts. Just that seemed like it was some sort of armor brace with bulky edges. One that was circular and small and thin, but probably too small to hold any components. He proceeded to make a thin wristband device that goes circular around the whole wrist, near the hand. It seemed to work, big enough, but not too noticeable to be noticed. Yeah, that could work. But now, one problem. How was he supposed to figure that out? He proceeded to start looking. He needed to find a place where he can get parts. And parts were his ideal issue. Money. But then he remembered. Oh, it's a place where you can gladly get that.